In this video, you're going to learn how to fold this four-pointed twist star. And this is something that anybody can fold, whether you are familiar with twist folds or even if you're not familiar with origami. I'm going to use a 6-inch square piece of paper that is purple on one side and white on the other to fold the star. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you 9 variations that you can make on this star that use color change to make some interesting effects. So hi, I'm Madonna Yoder from Gathering Folds, where usually I teach how to fold origami tessellations, which are repeating patterns folded from a single sheet of paper. But today we're focusing on a beginner level project, which is this twist star. So to get started, I'm going to have the white side of the paper facing up, and I'm going to bring the bottom edge up to the top edge and fold all the way through, making sure that my crease is nice and sharp. And then I'm going to open up, give my paper a quarter turn so that crease is now vertical, and bring the new bottom edge up to the top of the paper and fold all the way through. Next, I'm going to open my paper and flip to the colored side, where I will fold in half on each diagonal. So first, one diagonal, fold all the way through. Make sure to crease nice and hard, then open, rotate the paper a quarter turn, and fold in half on the other diagonal. Once I have all of these folds in half, I'm going to return to the white side of the paper, pop the point in the middle down, and gather all 4 of the corners up at the same point. This will let me lay down everything flat. Notice I have these 2 flaps on each side that I'm pulling together, and I'm going to put that open end with the corners of the paper closest to me. So now I have what's called a preliminary base. And for those of you who do know your origami bases, I'm going for a bird base. So next, and again, I have the open end pointing towards me, I'm going to bring the top flap on the right into the center so that that bottom right edge lays on the center crease. The center crease. And fold all the way through. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left hand side. So I'm going to bring that flap in to the center, bringing the open end of the flap in to my center fold and creasing all the way through. Next, I'm going to flip my paper over, again keeping the open end towards me, and do the same thing on this side of the paper, bringing the flap into the center so that that bottom edge is lined up with the center fold, and folding all the way through on both the right and the left. Next, I'm going to take this triangle on top, and let me zoom in a little bit, just a little here. I'm going to take the triangle on top and fold it over so that I get a fold line where the top of these 2 flaps that I folded in are laying down. So I'm folding the top down, my fold's going from corner to opposite corner, and I'm creasing all the way through. Now, how I like to do this is to open that flap, flip over, and also make that same crease in the opposite direction. And now when we open that top flap, we can open out our left and right flaps, and we're going to lift just the top layer up, and we're going to lift it up until we reach that last crease. We're going to lift up, and as we lift up, the left and right sides are going to come in. The important thing with this fold is that our crease that we had made at the top of those flaps when they were folded in, that crease is fully folded all the way out to the corners. And so those flaps are going to come in as we lift our flap to the top. So the left and right sides are coming in as our point is going from the bottom to the top. And once that is in place, I'm going to bring that top point back to join the rest of the corners of the paper at the bottom. Now I'm going to flip the paper over and do the same thing on this side. So I'm opening the left and right flaps. I'm lifting just the top layer, and I'm making sure that that horizontal crease is fully folded, that it's not like stopping before the corner, that it's going exactly from corner to opposite corner. And we're lifting our top flap, and as we do, and we can have this down on the desk, as we do, our left and right sides are coming together, and it's only using existing creases. So from here, I'm going to bring that top point back down to the bottom. We're almost there. And this move that I'm going to do next is going to be up in the air. So I'm going to pick this up with the right angle corner up at the top. I'm holding this up in the air, and I'm taking just one flap from my right hand side. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm holding this corner up. I'm going to lift a flap so it's pointing away from me. There should be a right angle between these two flaps. I'm going to take this corner. So notice it's not both corners. I'm taking just the corner further from me and bringing that corner in line with the central fold of the flap that I have pointing away from me. And as I do that, I'm pivoting around this point where this vertical fold is meeting the horizontal fold. So I'm creating a valley fold just in that area. And as I do that, the next flap will start coming out to my right. Now I'm going to rotate my model so that that flap that was going to the right is now going out away from me. I'm going to take the next corner and bring it in, again pivoting over that point where the horizontal and vertical creases meet. And as I bring that corner over, the next flap is going to appear on my right. And this is all in the air. And then I'm going to rotate again. I might need to separate out my next corner to bring that corner in line with the center line of the point and fold through. And last but not least, I'm going to finish my fourth corner to center line of the flap, and now I can lay this back down flat. Except that I have this 3D bit in the middle. So this kind of windmill or water bomb base, however you choose to think about it, shape. And I'm making sure right now that all of those valley folds that are folded on the flaps underneath are firmly folded. And then I'm going to put my fingers at the corners of this water bomb shape. I'm going to hold it down flat and I'm going to roll around in a counterclockwise direction. So I'm rolling my fingers around and I'm scooting my fingers over so I can continue rolling and rolling and rolling. And you'll notice this is making kind of a puffy pillow shape. We can start pressing from the center as well, making sure as we're going around, we're always rolling around. And that is going to bring this square twist into being. So in origami tessellation terms, this is specifically a closed square twist because it has a closed point on the back. There are other forms of square twists, and you can check out my other videos for details on that. And we're done with the 4-pointed twist star. And I want to show you some variations that you can make given the starting point that have some really cool effects. So there's some kind of more direct color change variations where you take each point and you, on the opposite side, fold it back some distance. So for this one, you're folding all the way. For this one, you're folding just to the center. And then you can do that same petal fold that we did to get these to be pointy to get the opposite color on the outside. And there's all kinds of ways to continue folding from there. And then there's a different color change set. This one is super cool because it's actually a double color change. You change it and then you do another fold and then you change it again. And this is entirely folded from a single sheet of paper. But with this one, what you do is you take your flap and you change the color for half of the flap. And then you can, in this case, tuck your point under the center, or in this case, bring your point, let's see, this would be bring your point over like this. So bringing it to that corner. Or you can get fancy with it. And there's all kinds of ways that you can create variations with this star. So that was the first 6. And then these are really playing with, sure, maybe there's color change, maybe there's not, but playing with what you do with these flaps on the back. And so you can make the flaps skinnier. So that was, let's bring these all the way over and then fold it back out as a skinny flap. And then play with that. You can do any number of variations on this very simple twist star. So I hope that you try this for yourself. I hope you share it with your friends, and happy folding, and I hope you go and find some of your own variations too. See you in the next video.